43, verse 2. When you pass through waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. This is the Bible verse I base my song Save Me on that you're about to hear. I hope you enjoy it. breakdown that went to making this song. I would like to turn your attention to the introduction portion of my program, where it explains a little bit of my reasoning behind choosing this as my senior project. So I chose this as my music senior thesis, which also couples as my honors thesis. And what I'm presenting to you tonight is a music composition and production project where I composed 3 of my original songs that I'll be performing for you tonight, one you just heard play. And I'll be giving you a little insight of the process that went into making each of them. So I'm on a journey of becoming a well-rounded musician, both classically and contemporary, as in a singer-songwriter, composer, and producer. So let's get into the presentation. So if we go to the next slide. So I would like to introduce you guys to technology I used throughout my process. So I had to use a laptop, which in my case I used a MacBook Air. And connected to that, or first before I talk about what's connected, you have to have a program in which you create your music. And that's called DAW, which is a digital audio workstation. So in my case, I use Logic Pro, and that black square there with the silver circle is the logo for that. Connecting to the MacBook was my interface that connected everything. So the 2 types of interface I used was the Focusrite and the audio box. Those are those two boxes on the side. Their job is basically to distribute the power between the mics that I use and the MIDI keyboard, that's that big keyboard there, into the laptop so that it doesn't overpower the laptop. So it's phantom powered. So the MIDI keyboard is basically a keyboard that's created for creating synthesized sounds. It's not made to use on its own, strictly made to use into a DAW. The 2 mics I used was the AKG on the right there and the AT on the left. So I used the AKG for my lead vocals and the AT for my background vocals. It's a stereo mic, meaning I can have the sound coming from sounding from 2 different areas. And I'm sure you're probably wondering what that eyeball thing is right there. So it's basically a shield over the mic. So since I was recording in my dorm a lot, I would need to have an extra shield around the mic so it wouldn't pick up too many outside noises. So it kind of isolated the sound. So moving on to the next slide. Some keywords you'll be hearing tonight is MIDI, as I was mentioning before. That stands as a musical instrument digital interface. And so the example of that was that keyboard we just saw. Is an instrument that helps to translate ideas that a producer or a composer may have into a digital audio workstation. In this case, I mentioned Logic Pro. The next I have is an EQ, which stands for equalization. And what it is, the picture on the right that you're seeing, that's what an EQ looks like in a DAW. Right? In this case, once again, Logic Pro. So what it does is helps to equalize sounds. So when I'm recording into the DAW, I may want to manipulate the sound to sound a certain way. So through the EQ, I'm able to do that. And the box at the bottom is explaining that. So I can mess with, for instance, where it says air, I can mess with the sound there to make it either sound more airy or less airy. Or for instance, in the boxy muddy area, I can mess with the sound there to make it have more of a muffled sound. Or in the rumble side, I can pull out a bass from a sound so it can sound like more of a telephone sound. So this helps to mess with the sound. Second, the last thing is the pad. A pad is a sustained sound that you hear throughout an entire song. A song, it could be a chord or a series of chords, used to create a background texture. As we're hearing in Save Me, I had something just happening all throughout a sound. So what I did, I created it with my voice, so I'll be referring to it as a vocal pad, but that's what you'll be hearing. So, into the breakdown of Save Me. This song came to me in October 2019. I was at a Bible retreat, actually, and we were given time to spend alone with God. And my family was going through a difficult time, and I was reading Isaiah at the time. So during my reading of Isaiah, I came across Isaiah 43 verse 2, which I read, recited to you at the beginning. And so that became a voice of comfort to me, and through that, I felt the Holy Spirit gave me the melody to save me. So let's talk about the lyrics. So verse 1 is basically based on the verse. When I cross deep rivers, you'll be there. When I walk through fire, you'll be there. Verse 2, what I did, I decided to, since verse 1 is a metaphor to the issues that I'm facing, I decided to express a little bit what I mean. So I decided to say rivers of distraught, because that's what I was feeling at the time. Can't contain me, and fires of my problems cannot break me. So that's what I thought in the lyrical structure of my song. So my structure is verse 1, pre-chorus, a chorus, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, and then the chorus. So now let's go to a musical composition example of what went into the process of making it. So I was able to work with Dr. Otley and Dr. Lau throughout my whole entire process of this project, and so I brought to them my rough drafts, and they helped me edify it. So I would like to just give an example of the beginning or a part of Save Me, where the top box there is the original of what I brought initially, and the bottom is just little changes that I made just to make the song more interesting. And the idea that you hear in the second example was actually given to me by Dr. Lau. So I'm going to ask Carissa if she can help me by playing the original one first, and then I'll actually play the newer version. And the edified version. Changes like that were made throughout the piece. Thank you, Carissa. So, just a little bit about the production aspect now, and to save me. A lot went into that. So, I would like to call myself out about Save Me. So, as you see, there was an issue that happened. You could barely hear the lead vocal. You heard mainly the vocal pad and the background singers. So, that was not supposed to happen. So, one key thing when producing is to always test your music in various aspects. I did not get to test it in this aspect. I tested it while producing on my MacBook. I tested it probably in a car. I tested it in Dr. Alden's office with his speakers, but I didn't get to test it here. So that's why it's important to test your music everywhere, because what I would need to do to fix that is lower the volume in the vocal pad and the background. So I can make my lead vocal more present. So that's what I will work on after today. So what you're looking at on the far is your left. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is how Logic Pro looks. You're seeing tracks. So each line, that green line, blue lines, those are all tracks. The green ones are representing the MIDI tracks that were done through the MIDI keyboard, and all the blue ones are representing the audio tracks. So I started off with laying down my lead vocal, then I did the vocal pad, then I did the piano MIDI, and I did background vocals for chorus. So what you're hearing in the vocal pad is showing that top picture over here. So I had the vocal pad, a soprano, alto, tenor, and bass come in and sing something together. Then I broke them apart so that you were hearing a call and response happening all throughout. And so that's what you're hearing. Down here in this EQ box is an example of what I did to edit one of the ad-libs in soprano. So remember how I told you about that rumble sound in the EQ box that you saw with the labels? So what I did here was I pulled the red, the bass, there you go, in to isolate it a little bit so it can give more of a telephone sound. So towards the end we heard just for happening, and it sounded more like a telephone sound. This EQ helped to create that. So I messed with the airy side, the muddy, bossy side, all that to create that. Okay, well, lastly about singing, if I was able to sample my voice to do a do sound that played the piano portion, and so how I was able to do that, I sung do on a middle C into the Logic Pro, and I was able to manipulate that file by going to the top and changing that audio to a sampler track. That's what you see here in that first picture. And then in the second picture, since I just sung middle C, and I needed to expand how many notes that one note I sung could play, and so it allowed me to do that. That yellow box shows the range of how much that my sample voice could play. And through that, I was able to play the piano portion. So that's a little bit into Save Me. I hope you're ready to listen to more music. Because I'm going to ask my performers to come up as we perform Refuge. going on to our next slide. So let me give you a little breakdown. This song came to me in March 2020. If you guys remember that, at least the people of my generation. We were in senior year, people of my generation, and we were figuring out if we were coming back from spring break or not, in which we didn't. But so I remember my family was talking about. We were talking about how COVID was affecting everyone. This is like a pandemic. Everybody around the world was dealing with this situation. And we were wondering, wow, what is God doing? What's going to happen after this? So this song, I created Refuge as a message of hope during the time of COVID and the times that were to come after. So I introduced it with a message of love from God to you for that purpose. So the lyrics are influenced heavily by Psalms 46 NIV. And the reason why I chose this song, because my parents growing up, they made us memorize verses. And they would even make us, so I have 5 siblings, so my parents have 6 kids. And they would have competitions for us with the chapters we memorized to go up to them. And whoever got the top, first place got like $20. That was big for us. So this chapter has always been ingrained in me. So that's what really came to mind when I created this song. So with the lyrics, the first one, verse 1, it says, "Be still and know that I am God. I'll be exalted among the nations. Be still and know that I am God. I'll be exalted in the earth." That's based on Psalm 46, verse 10, which is kind of the literal, almost close to the literal verse that is being recited here. And in the chorus, I decided to make a climactic chorus because of the words. That's derived from Psalms 46, verses 1 through 3. So though the mountains may fall into the heart of the sea, and the waters roar and foam, God is our refuge, and an ever-present help in time of trouble. So I want to emphasize that. So the structure for here is verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, verse, chorus. I didn't do a pre-chorus because I already had a really long chorus, so I just decided to keep it as that. So let's get into my examples of musical composition here. I have 2. So Dr. Ali was able to tell me a lot with making this song become more climactic. Like you were hearing the string section, how they came in like at the bridge. Y'all heard that? Yeah, that was good. But so the parts on the left is the original, what I came with, what I composed, and the parts on the right, it's what Dr. Ali helped me edify. And this is actually not the final result, but it's the process. So I'm going to show you just an example. So, Carissa, could you put that top box, please, on the left? That was the bridge part. So, and then parts did her thing too, because she even up it up. Yeah, so. The second example is at the bottom. That was, right, this is leading up to the break. Just call the name of Jesus and he will rescue you. Oh, when mountains fall, that very dramatic part there. So this is the example of what I came in with, what I composed on my own. The left, the second box, can you please do that?
measures. That's important, okay? Yeah. We should make this a little bit more dramatic, it's a very climactic part of the song. So he put some ideas down there, and so that's what you're about to hear, this F5 version. So basically, it was a shorter break. But you see how much that was more of a build-up? Yeah, okay. All right. All right, let's move on to the production aspect. So there was, when it comes to mixing, so I was able to get my peers, the string players, to record into my track, because I intend to release this music soon for y'all to hear. So basically, when editing, I heard there was something just not together with the harmony, so I realized in one of the lines, there was supposed to be an F sharp there, which was an F natural. So what this shows you here is just how I edited that. So in the picture on the left, I was able to find where I was hearing that note through this this resource in Logic called Flex Pitch, and so what it does is it analyzes the sound files and it notates or tells you the exact note that's being played, and so I was able to find where I was hearing that incongruency, and then I highlighted that box that you're seeing there, and it showed that there was an F sharp F natural, so the pictures are out of order. This is the one you're supposed to be looking at. And so all I did was drag it up to an F sharp, which is shown here on that picture. And so that's how I fixed that. So that's a really cool feature there in production. Okay, well, I'm going on to my last piece now. Are you guys ready to listen to more music? Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
my last song for tonight. So let's get a little to the breakdown. This one came to me. I thought about this song in March 2022. That was spring semester of my freshman year at Desjardins. So I had just made a big decision to change from pre-med to music. And I was that was after about prayer and supplication. Because I really felt that God has been called me to do music, that my ministry is in music, and so I really want to answer to that calling. So honestly, actually coming to WU, I didn't know much about the music program, so I went. And I found Dr. Lau, I talked to him, got more information, I auditioned, and I got accepted. So this song helped to maneuver the doubts that I had in my mind within the career changing, and not only that, I was dropping pre-med and changing to pre-pharmacy. I was deciding at that moment whether I should change or not. So this song is a prayer, and it was originally written mostly in English. And then I reached out to my mom and said, Mom, I want to add French, so can you help me? So I basically said I worked with what I knew, not a lot, I'm not a French speaker, but then I asked my mom to help me translate my chorus into French. So the French that you're hearing there was my chorus, just in French. So the structure of this, it's similar to Save Me, where it's the verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, pre-chorus. Chorus, and I decided to do an instrumental bridge because I think this is more of a pensive song. Since I'm asking God, I'm telling God that His voice is the only one that matters to me. So I wanted that bridge to not be lyrical. I came in singing halfway through. I wanted to be more pensive. That's why I had a duet between the violin and cello there. And so a little of the lyrics. So the first verse, when you speak, the waters crash beneath, the firmament do see and magnifique. So that first verse, this song, I started freestyling it when I first came, and it kind of was encompassing a lot of what I knew scripturally. So I knew that there's various parts of the Bible that actually talk about God's voice sounding like a roaring waters, and that's why I worded it that way. An example of that being Ezekiel 43 verse 2, where he says, "And I saw the glory of God of Israel coming from the east. His voice was like the roar of rushing waters, and the land was radiant with his glory." So think about that. I wanted to craft the first verse being that way. So I wanted to express the magnificence of God, and basically I'm telling myself why He should be the priority within anything I'm hearing. Verse 2, I said, when you speak, your words they go where needed, they accomplish what they are to. I remember reading a verse about that, and I was like, wow, that really touched me. The verse is Isaiah 55, verse 11, and it says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve for the purpose for which I sent it." And so I took that to me as if God put me on this path into music, I know He has a purpose for me in that sense. And that's why I created that verse. Again, with our musical compositions. So this one, I'm going to give an example. So it was just, when I came in with my song, I just had the top part of it that you've seen, and the box at the top. It was just happening all throughout, because I'm not necessarily a pianist, so I was doing my best with creating a piano line for my song. And so after bringing it to Dr. Otley, and he was looking at the ideas, he was like, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do this. So I compiled a lot of ideas, and so you'll see the difference between the first and the second of what I did to make it more lively. So Cars, thank you. The top, yeah. The second is the edify version. just another EQ example. So in the track that I'm making to release soon for Voice That Matters, this is just an example of how I edited the voices. I know like each voice that I did when I'm doing harmony in terms of soprano and alto, sometimes it can require different mixes because they're different timbres or timbres. So this was within the chorus. I wanted them to sound distant and not overpowering the lead vocal. And so what I did was I know the soprano here down here had more of a airy feel, so I lowered the EQ there so it didn't sound as airy. And then the muddy part, I lowered it as well. Doing this helped to provide more of a distant sound. And same thing for alto. I didn't need to touch the airy part because it's more of like a treble sound. So I just lowered the muddy portion a little bit, and that helped to give the track, that section, the chorus, more of a distant sound so it didn't overpower the lead vocal. Because in this song, I'm singing in all my songs, I'm singing everything that you're hearing. So I would have to mix with how I'm singing so I'm not overpowering myself. So, and yeah, so that's an example of the production aspect. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Can you talk about your choices with the French in terms of using the tu
yes.
versus the vous?
I almost forgot about that. Thank you very much. Okay, one important thing. In Voice That Matters, can we go back to the breakdown slide, please? There, I was referring to God as tu, and after having a conversation with my mom, because any French speakers, that when speaking to someone formal, we would use vous. But my mom expressed to me that this is an intimate song within a friendship between me and God, and so therefore I wanted to say vous. I'm talking to him as a friend, so I would refer to him as tu, and that's why you heard that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for reminding me that. Okay. Yeah. So I want to know if anyone has any questions before I give my acknowledgments. Are there any?
I have a question. First of all, it's amazing. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful what you do. I don't know how long it took you. Probably it's taken like 5 years. But how was the process in terms of, did you have a score? Did you have one part? You recorded one part and then you're like, oh, okay, let me add some violins or let me add this or that. So was it like a score measure by measure, or was it like I don't know how to explain it. It's more horizontal, like you were recording one line and then you decided to add another line.
Okay, so for me, since I'm a singer and being trained in voice, most of my melodies come in my head as like the voice part. So I will end up singing into my phone what I want to sing, then I'll record that. Or first I'll find the key in which I'm singing and then try to formulate a small piano part or an easy piano part so I can stay in the key. And then after that, then I'll drop my lead vocal. As I'm recording my lead vocal, ideas pop in my mind with ad-libs and choruses. So once they come, I start adding them. And after that, as I'm hearing all that, then I start hearing ideas for strings, and that's where they came to. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. I go with the creative flow.
Thank you.
Well, okay. So I'm going to get Dr. Lou first, and then I'll.
So I've got two questions for you. The first question, first of all, congratulations.
Yes.
The first question I have is, what did you like about the process? What didn't you like about the process? Was the process something that you expected, enjoyed? So maybe talk about the process a little bit, what you liked and did. My second question is, I know you're free-farming, but what plans do you have for this and anything else like
this? So the first question. So for the longest, I couldn't consider myself a classical singer or a trained singer before coming to WU. When I got the training that I needed to actually start creating music. So what really helped was being able to tie a lot of the disciplines I learned as a music major into making this project like music theory, composition. And I always had a desire to do producing. I started looking into it a lot in 2020, and then when I came here, I was going to shout them out later, but especially, first of all, I would like to shout the intellect, the great minds of Dr. Otley and Dr. Lau, because honestly, like, when I pitched the idea to Dr. Lau, because I knew when I became a music major, I wanted to do this at some point. I wanted to do this. So when I pitched the idea to Dr. Lau, he was like, yeah, I think we're gonna have Dr. Otley, and I will work with you too. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, oh my gosh, this is exciting for me, because I know like they just have great minds for this kind of stuff, and I was excited to learn from them. And so this has been an amazing process for me. And then I would like to shout Andrea and Carissa, because they were, with Dr. Lau and Dr. Otley for whatever I was assigned to do, helping me proceed with my project. I would refer to Andrea a lot for the production aspects, and she's really good at that. And so she's been mentoring me outside of Dr. Lau and Dr. Otley with this process. So I really appreciate her for that a lot. And Carissa is an amazing pianist, and she has perfect pitch. And for me, I don't. So my harmony sometimes, I was like, Carissa, can you look at this before I bring this to Dr. Otley? Because I know he's going to be like, Carissa, this is not. So Carissa would really help me. And so being as active as I am on campus, I mean, several things. So it was an arduous process, but it's been rewarding. I had to either stay up late to either produce dates or just wake up really early, like talking about 4 a.m., warm up my voice and sing into a mic before I had a meeting with Dr. Law or Dr. Otley that day. So a lot went into this process. I started prepping for this project specifically last summer. And then the second question. So yeah, I've learned a lot in this project. I want to continue on to pharmacy school, finish my degree in pharmacy, but that doesn't mean that's the end for me as a musician. I still have several things like these songs presented here to finish and release, and other songs that I would like to finish producing and putting out too. So, within the next 3 years, I would like to have an album out by then. My goal is to get a Grammy one day. I want to keep going and keep building as I go along. So, thank you for his questions, Lyle. You'll be my last.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, as a musician yourself, I'm sure you're aware that musicians are very picky about the music that they produce, about the music they write. So, my question is, whenever you're writing something, how do you know when it feels right? Sometimes people may think I need to add more or I need to take something away, it's too much. How do you know when it feels right?
That's an interesting question. That was honestly a learning process for me beginning this project, because I have a lot of ideas in my mind and I put all of them down. So if you were to hear how my track sounded at the beginning of this project, it's just too many things happening back and forth. So I had to learn after hearing, from Dr. Ali, Dr. Lau, and all my peers. You're like, okay, you're doing a little bit too much here, too many ad-libs here. And I'm a heavy vibrato user, so I use vibrato for, I like to do a lot of rhymes. So for me, it sounded good at the time, but after sharing, and that's why I like sharing with fellow musicians from hearing their thoughts, because the more I listened to it, I was like, one thing that Dr. Ali always says, less is more. And that's what I learned with this. So I had to cut back on a lot of ad-libs that I did. Because I wanted the main focus to be the message. And so if what I had to learn that if what I'm doing and what I'm adding to the song is overpowering the main focus, then I have to cut back. And so that was a learning process there. Yeah. Okay, well, I would like to thank a couple of people. Thank you all, first of all, for coming to my recital. I really appreciate it. I want to thank my family who flew over here from everywhere. helped me to perform this. This has been so much. So all my string sections, I'm so in the back who has helped me a lot. Always been a support. So I want to thank all my friends and everyone for coming. And more things are in the back of the page if I forgot. Okay, well, I would like to end on a strong note with an encore. I would like to call my triple siblings. You may have thought I was only presenting 3 original songs for you tonight, but it's going to end up being about 5 because I'm doing a mashup of 2 of my original songs. One of them being What Love My God, which I created in composition class last year, and then the other is Stronger in You, which was supposed to be one of the songs I presented to you tonight. But this is a very large project, so less is more. So I was like, I can't have my children brother come up here and we not sing together. Well, we've been singing since we were 2 years old, you know. So, but that's so we're gonna go ahead and sing it. Let me get a sip of water. watching from online, particularly my oldest brother who could not make it along with his family, Suave, and my baby nephew, Beanie, or I mean Zaire, I call him. And all my aunties, uncles, everyone who supported me from online, thank you so much. I would like to join you guys for, what? Let's do that again. Okay, got it. I would like to invite you guys for reception outside, where I've got Haitian patties to share with everyone and other good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.